Morning wood is the best indicator of your testosterone levels, bro. Believe
You
it or not.
literally track if you have morning wood in the
Yes.
morning.
Yeah.
So we have much lower standards for the women that we sleep with, but we have higher standards for the women that we want to keep in a relationship, especially in a serious relationship.
What's the craziest offer you received from a girl?
She was posting pictures with boyfriend and everything, and she was like saying that she wanted to have my babies.
Oh, what? Like, if you really want to challenge yourself, don't drink, don't smoke, don't take anything, don't take any friends with you, and just go completely alone to a nightclub on Friday or Saturday full of people. As a start of this podcast, I have a little something for you.
Okay.
Just very, very small something. Have you ever eaten elk?
I haven't, bro. That's sick.
Well, there you go. Straight from Lapland, Finland.
I'm gonna be trying this out tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, man. Hell
It's good
yeah.
for traveling. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. You're welcome, man.
Thank elk meat, 100% salt, sugar, pepper.
That's it, man.
All good for me.
So the first time I ate meat again after being vegetarian was dried reindeer. It was up on the Arctic Circle in Lapland.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's dad. We were like, they have a house in the middle of nowhere. It's just a street with like occasional houses on the sides in the Arctic Circle. And we're chilling in the house, and you have to like go there and you heat up. You have to put wood into the heater oven thing, and it takes like a whole day till it heats the house.
Yeah.
And we're then chilling there, and it's like minus 30 degrees outside. And the first night we saw instantly Northern Lights. We arrived, and literally first night Northern Lights. And my girlfriend's dad is just like sitting on this like rocking chair, and he's just cutting off slices from this piece of dried reindeer. And me having been a vegetarian since I'm like 19, and since I started lifting and going to the gym, I'm like, so you're just eating this reindeer meat? He's like, yeah, it's great. And I'm like, okay, let me check the macros of that thing, right? And I'm like, wait, that's just pure protein and a little bit of fat. Yeah. And I didn't know that as a vegetarian. The only thing I knew was like protein powder, and it still had carbs with it, right? Or low-fat cottage cheese, which still, I never seen anything that's just like no compromise, pure protein with some fat, you know? And I'm like, damn, like meat is like a hack. And he's like, you want a piece? And I'm like, you know what? I want to start eating meat again. Like, it was just, I had been thinking about the decision for a while, for like a couple months. And I'm like, it feels the right thing to me. And I ate some of the reindeer meat, and I'm like, this is really good. And then my girlfriend was like, hey, tomorrow we're going to visit my aunt, I think, my aunt and uncle. If you want to, they can make elk meat for you. And I'm like, it's like, the main reason why I became vegetarian was because I didn't want to be eating like industrialized meat, so I'm like, well, it's elk. It's like, it's going to be locally shot by a farmer or by a hunter. And, it's like the best way to kill an animal for food. Yeah. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'll eat elk meat. And like literally next day I eat a big plate of elk meat.
And digestion was all good,
dude,
no issues?
That's what so many people said. They're like, oh, well, how did it like ransack your bowels? No, I had just switched from one day to the other.
Nice.
Never had an issue. In fact, I would almost argue like I had more issues with digestion when I was a vegetarian, more frequently.
Oh yeah, for sure.
More frequently.
Too much fiber.
Yeah. Now I eat, like I say, I eat meat. Like I eat about almost 2 pounds of meat. Pretty much exactly 2 pounds of meat per day. And
how much protein are you having per day?
265 grams.
Okay.
That's
good.
So it's almost only protein with a little bit of veggies and fruit.
To staying lean, that's like
it's the best.
It's the lean best. And focus. To be focused.
Yes.
Because carbs, like when you have too many carbs, like they kind of throw away your focus a bit. So yeah.
So I saw you with your eating habits. So you have super small, relatively small meals, but like 5 or 6 per day.
Yeah.
Did you test all kinds of different variations, and that was the best one for you?
I did. So I found that it's like my recovery was better this way. It's like I was giving more windows of opportunity for my body to absorb the nutrients, in my case. But I feel like everyone is different, right? So for some people like you, less meals work better. For me specifically, when I did just a few meals a day, it was like it was harder for me to maintain a higher amount of muscle for some reason. And also because I have to eat a lot of food because I have a fast metabolism. I need to eat like over 3,000 calories a day.
I'm so jealous, man.
Well, but on the downside, I couldn't do like the 2 meal a day thing with 3.2 thousand calories. You eat like 2.1, 2.2.
Yeah, 2.2. Right
Exactly.
now.
So that's very realistic for 2-3 meals. It's not realistic, at least for me, for 3.2.
Man, I'm so jealous, man. I have to hold myself back so much every day to not eat 8,000 calories.
We talked about this today at the gym. You could always pick up a sport that is like cardio, or like do some more cardio, and you would have like an extra 500 calories a day to eat.
500.
Yeah.
You know, but like for me, a lot of times people talk about what would be comfortable for them to eat on a daily basis. For me, it would be 8,000. Like, that's where I'm like, this is where I would just be super comfortable. I would have not hold myself back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be 8,000, I think.
Like mostly carbs or fat.
Both. But
Yeah.
I think carbs more.
Yeah.
But obviously I can't do that. That would get ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, because when you say things like, oh, I couldn't get 3,000 calories unless I ate 5 meals, I'm like, you're just not creative enough.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I would start my day with, these big packs of toast, like the worst toast, like the white bread toast, and they're like this high. It's like one stack. You buy it in a big plastic thing. I would start my day with this plus butter and Nutella. So it would be how many slices are in one thing? 20? 15? So I would start my day with 15 to 20 Nutella with butter and Nutella. I would feel pretty good about it. Then some eggs, some bacon, that would be breakfast for me. And then some snacks, some chips in between. Then I would have a big bowl of pasta. Mind you, I say bowl, not plate. I would have a bowl of pasta with, bolognese with some good meat, some cheese on it. Then I would have, after the pasta for dessert, I would have cereal. That's
like you've been planning this for
what?
It's like you've been planning this whole meal in your mind.
That's my cheat day. That's what I do on cheat days.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I'm like, and for me, when I eat cereal, I mean I eat the whole carton and a whole bottle of milk.
Bro.
I don't stop after a portion. Hell no. I would just eat the whole carton. Like the last time, remember before we had Mateo on the podcast, I just ate one carton of Special K. Yeah, that's like one portion, right?
Yeah.
That's why they put it in one carton. It's the one carton equals one portion for me. And then the evening I would have pizza with Ben and Jerry's in the evening or something like that. Something light, So that's what I'm saying. Like 8,000 is would be baseline for me. The only reason why it's not is because I'm fucking disciplined as hell.
Yes.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. My favorite thing would be if my girlfriend made lasagna. She would make a whole thing lasagna, and I would just like, on cheat day, I would like, this is my meal. This whole, what is it called? A plate of an oven rack.
Yeah.
A whole rack of lasagna, man. Bro. Yeah. It'd be great. But of course, that's not the case because I want to make a ton of money. Like you said, it's really good for focus. Exactly. I can't work on cheat days. No way. Because the carbs alone. And the thing is, like, when you eat these crazy sugar carbs, like, your body doesn't want to work.
Yeah.
Your body's just like...
So digestion takes a lot of energy. So that's underrated. And your brain too, right? So when you're having digestion, your energy has to go there. And your brain doesn't have as much fuel to work, right? So that's one of the reasons why you get the brain fog.
Yeah, super brain fog. And also my body is like... I have zero discipline. My discipline goes down to shit as well. It's just like, let's just watch something. Let's just passive sit down and watch.
Yes.
It's not even play video games. It's like, no, I just want to watch stuff.
Just passive.
And the crazy thing is every time I do these cheat days, these really hardcore cheat days, I do it depends, maybe once a month. Maybe once every 2 weeks if I have a very stressful period of my life. And then every time I do these, here's the crazy part. Every time I do this and I eat all these processed foods in one day, I'm like, oh, this is what a regular person feels like every day. Because a regular person eats bread, they eat pasta, they eat a lot of sugar, they eat a couple slices of pizza on average,
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no wonder the average person is fucking lazy, can't get their ass to the fucking gym. they can't build a business, or when they do build a business, they try it for 2 weeks and then it quote unquote doesn't work. Of course, the average person just binge watches Netflix shows because they don't even have the right fuel for their body.
Yes.
They have dog shit fuel. And like you said, then all the energy goes in digestion. It's completely normal for the average person to feel tired after food. They have kind of focus. And I'm always like, oh, you guys feel like that all the time. I feel like that once a month when I have my cheat day. And I know that I'm going to feel like that. So I even plan it in. I'm like, I'll do it after a crazy week. I'll work extra the day before, the day after, and so on and so forth. But I'm like, the average person doesn't have that. And that's why I honestly think, oh yeah, fitness niche. It's full of dog shit influencers that have no clue what the hell they're coaching. They're to coach bullshit. But your stuff is actually good. And that's why I think what you guys do, what people like you do, is really fucking important. Because you guys unplug people from that matrix, from the shit food matrix, so to speak.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people come to me just with the surface level. I want to lose my stubborn belly.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people come to me, and they manage to pull that off. But what a lot of people don't expect when they come to get in shape is that when you actually, for example, let's say fix your digestion. There's so many things that get better. If every single day chronically you're eating foods that you don't digest properly and feeling like sluggish and feeling full is normal for you.
Yeah.
There's people that go like that for years. And then your testosterone gets plummeted. Your testosterone goes to shit. Your focus, of course, is bad. You don't feel 100% your whole day because your digestion is bad.
Yeah.
And people take this for granted. It's normal for a lot of people. And when you fix their diets, actually customized to them, because some people, they cannot digest lactose, for example, or dairy. Other people might not digest gluten. And they go on the internet and they see a one solution fixes everything approach, but they are not aware. Everyone is different. For some people, gluten might be good. For other people, lactose might be good because, their cheese has protein. Everyone is different. But when you fix some things, you feel like the digestion, you fix a lot of things in your life.
Have you tried out different kind of diets in your life?
You
gotta have come to the ideal diet that you have now. Somehow.
I tried a few different ones, yes. And the one that was worked better for me was this exact one that you mentioned, like meals split out evenly across the day. And removing, there are three things that for me I removed completely. Lactose. So products with lactose, whenever I have them, I just have an enzyme, right? Like today we're having dinner and I go up to my pocket, I pull up an enzyme, a pill.
But you didn't eat lactose today, did you?
So lactose is in places sometimes you don't expect. Like sometimes they cook it and some of the products there have dairy. Bro, just for you to have an idea, Viagra has, not Viagra, Cialis has lactose.
What's that?
Cialis is something that you take to have better vasodilation. It's used as a sexual stimulant a lot of times. Oh, no shit,
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like an alternative to Viagra.
Okay.
A milder alternative.
It has lactose in it?
And it has lactose. Like, lactose is in some random stuff sometimes. Anyways, lactose. Second one is a sweetener that fucks me up called stevia.
Oh, yeah, I know stevia.
That one fucks me up, bro.
What does it do?
I just get incredible belly pain when I have it.
Shit.
Yeah. And I noticed amongst my clients, like some people have an intolerance to sucralose, and stevia is perfectly fine. Other people, it's like aspartame. So everyone has like different things that they're intolerant to, right? And then the third thing that I don't have is soy. That's the one I really avoid. Because if you have soy after a certain amount after a certain amount, it can affect your testosterone levels.
I heard that. I heard.
Yeah. So if you're having just a little bit of soy, that's negligible. But the thing is that soy nowadays is in so many things that you don't even know, right? So you go to the restaurant, you don't even know if there's soy there, some of the products. So whatever I can control, I don't have soy.
That's so interesting. Like I don't have my body just takes anything, man. Lactose, gluten, fuck it. I'll be fine. But here's actually one interesting thing. I'd love to hear your take on it.
Yeah.
I have certain foods I feel like the inside of my nose swells, and I can't breathe through my nose properly anymore after certain foods. And I don't know if this is an allergic reaction or something. I have it, coincidentally, I have it usually after cheat days. But again, on cheat days, I eat just a ton of food, so it's hard to tell for me if. But you never have that feeling where like somehow the membranes in your nose start swelling up and not enough air goes through them anymore.
Is it with spicy foods?
No idea. I don't think so. I think it's with carb heavy food for some random fucking reason. And the only thing that gives me stomach pain is sriracha sauce or whatever it's called. You know the sriracha sauce, the red spicy sauce. What is it called? Sriracha? Yeah, the red spicy sauce. That one I put like a tiny spoon on it and I get stomach pain. It's super weird, man.
You have to check the ingredients to see what's on the ingredients and like notice if there's any specific sweetener in there. Usually it's sweeteners that come.
But it's just a spicy chili sauce. I don't think there's a sweetener in it, but maybe, who knows. But yeah, but other than that, I can eat everything. I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, not you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm a full-on omnivore. My body
on one
just
end,
doesn't
like
matter.
you have the bad side of not being able to eat a lot of calories, like 3,000 or something. But you have the upside. At least you're
I can eat
flexible.
anything. Yeah, very, very
that's
true.
a good upside.
No, overall, like I said it at the gym too. I'm very happy with my body. It responds to stuff. It responds to stimulus very easily. If I wanna gain muscle, it goes really fast. But then also if I want to lose weight, it goes really fast. But if I also want to gain weight, it goes really fast.
I was impressed at the gym today. You're in very good shape.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's one of the things you don't notice yourself, because you see yourself in the mirror all the time. And then you wear like an old shirt and you're like, oh, it doesn't fit anymore. What?
Yeah.
Did it get smaller? And then I'm like, and then you see pictures of yourself from 3 years ago and I'm like, damn, I was so skinny. Yeah, the muscles more much less.
Yes.
That was really a big game changer that eating meat did for me again. My muscles blew up. They exploded. That was a really, really big one. I really felt like I had hit a plateau with the vegetarianism.
Yes.
And really, like, towards the end, I felt like super susceptible to stress. I got stressed super easily. I got really anxious really easily. I got
when you were in the vegetarian.
Yeah, towards the end of 12 years vegetarianism.
Okay. Did you find out why that was happening?
I don't know. Probably some deficiency from not eating meat, And
did you were doing blood tests?
I was doing blood tests very regularly. The thing is, couple things. First of all, I just did random blood tests. Never had an idea what I need to test.
Yeah.
It was always like, vitamins and testosterone. And then the thing is too, I mean, you know this probably as well, that they adjusted the minimum value for testosterone. They made it lower and lower and lower over the years. So 10 years ago, you were like 10 years ago, you were below the accepted range of testosterone, and they adjusted it downwards because the overall trend was going down. That nowadays you would have the same value of testosterone, but it would be acceptable in the acceptable range. So they adjusted that downwards. And I remember before I started eating meat again, the last test I did, my testosterone was just barely in the acceptable range, which means, 10, 20 years before, it would have probably been below the acceptable range. So my doctor was like, yeah, your testosterone is a little low, but nothing to worry about. And then I started eating meat, and I was also working with experts. I was working with Nikki for 6 months or something, or 3 months. I don't know, but I think it was less than 3 months even. After a very, very short time, I felt incredible. I felt amazing. All of a sudden, I had all the energy. I got much leaner. I didn't have this bloated belly all the time. My muscles they fucking exploded. It was almost like they were waiting to get meat from protein from meat again. And then I did a testosterone test, and it was way above the maximum. It was like, from minimum to maximum, and mine was like way above the range. Yes. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I fucking feel like. Yeah. And then I did another testosterone test a couple months after that. And I went to my doctor in Austria, the doctor that knew me from my entire life, like village doctor knows me from when I was a kid. And he looks at me, I'm walking into the door, and he's like, are you taking steroids? And I'm like, what? I just came in the door. He's like, if you're taking steroids, you have to tell me. Like, you can admit it. I'm like, no, I don't. No way. I don't even know how to take steroids. I don't know where to buy them. I don't take steroids. And he's like, yeah, what are you doing then? I'm like, I'm just starting eating meat again, 265 grams of protein. And then he got mad. He's like, that's way too much. You're going to get a protein poison. Who told you that, you know? And I'm like, well, just do a fucking blood test, okay? And he did the blood test. Blood test came back perfect.
Nice.
Fucking everywhere, perfect range. And then he shut up. He didn't complain anymore.
Nice.
Did you ever try vegetarian? Have you ever dabbled with that?
Oh, hell no,
Yeah.
man.
No, never at all?
No. I love meat too much. First, I love it too much. And it just makes me feel so good. So, no way. Fish, I was never a fan of fish.
Me neither.
That's the only one. But meat, I love meat, man.
How was the longest you've ever gone without meat?
Less than 24 hours.
Really?
Yes.
What?
In my whole life. I mean, since I remember, bro. Less than 24 hours. Like, literally, the village I come from, like, meat is, like, big there.
Oh.
You know, like, I come from a village where, you know, you raise your own cows, your own pigs and stuff. So my grandma would literally kill the animals, cook them, and I would eat them that same night that they were killed, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So,
I mean, it's not... I get it, yeah. It's good.
It's natural. It's a natural thing. So I come from that background. So for me, not eating meat would be as weird as, I don't know, like for a Swiss person to not eat cheese probably or chocolate, you know.
Shout out to all the Swissies.
Yeah.
You never done fasting, like 24-hour fasting or anything like that?
Not 24, but like I did fasting when, I mean, in some random circumstances that I had to do blood analysis or things like that, but 24 hours never.
When was the last time you did a blood test?
It was... When was the last time I did a blood test? Like 1 year and a half ago.
Oh, so you're not even doing them that regularly?
Yeah, like every year or so I try.
Do you know what your testo value was?
Yeah, it was about 850, something like that.
Is that good? I have no clue. What
It's on the high end, yeah.
Nice.
It's definitely on the high end.
Sick, man. Sick.
But the thing is, like, not a lot of people know this, but testosterone is important. But what's even more important is free testosterone.
Yeah.
You know why?
No idea.
So you have, like, imagine testosterone is like, okay, you have the testosterone in your body, but it's not usable testosterone. The free testosterone is the one that is like, imagine a car, you have a tank.
Yeah.
And if the gas would be on the tank and not being spread through the places it has to on the car, it would be useless, right? So the free testosterone is like the gas that's being, you know, spread across the places that it has to go to on the car, right? So the thing is that there's something called sex hormone binding globulin, which is what stores this testosterone. It's like the gas tank. And some people, you have too much, this is called SHBH, sex hormone binding globulin, and you have too much, so your testosterone is too binded to the receptor, so your body cannot use it, right? So some people, even though they have high levels of testosterone, their free testosterone is low, so you have all of the symptoms of having low testosterone.
Oh,
right?
Can you somehow like get it out?
Yes. So there is things you can do to reduce, for example, the SHBH. There's a lot of things you can do. And like decreasing your cortisol levels, for example, that increases your free testosterone levels. But that's why when you do blood tests, that's a tip also for the people watching, you always should test for free testosterone as well.
Yeah.
And not just the regular testosterone.
Yeah.
And also it's important, especially like, for example, for people that are vegetarian, I don't know if you did this back in the day, to test for estrogen as well. Because sometimes when you're having like a lot of soy, it can increase the estrogen and it can cause the anxiety levels to increase because you get more emotional because of estrogen, you know what I mean? So it's also important to check that out as well.
It's so crazy how we're all like, oh, free will and blah, blah, blah. You can choose. No, man, we are so much more controlled by our hormones and by our genes, by our genetics than we think. And I talked to this, I forgot who I talked to about this recently. It's like, I actually think the Nazis in Germany historically were one of the reasons why society after that went so far away from this whole like genetics are responsible.
Yes. 100%.
Because it's they, you know, the Nazis used that argument as like, oh, you know, you're genetically inferior, right?
Yes.
They used that argument to push their own crazy Nazi racist propaganda. And now we're so far away, we're like, oh, well, you know, my dad's an alcoholic because it runs in the family, right? People are like, no, that's not true. Like, you can choose not to be an alcoholic, la-di-da. But in reality, there's genetic predisposition that makes it, that increases the chance of you becoming an alcoholic drastically.
Yes.
And I think that's important. Now, granted, there is free will and, you know, you're the master of your own fate and all that jazz. But at the same time, genetics play a very, very important role, but it has become so tabooed for people to talk about that. Yeah. I know, for example, because I talked about food, it's genetic for me. I know because my dad loves fucking food. Yeah. He, like, I got that 100% from him. I got the exact same body type from my dad. My dad is fat, but he's got really broad shoulders. He got big arms. Like, if my dad would actually diet, and he hits the gym 2 times a week, he has to, because I'm paying his gym. I'm like, I pay your gym, but you have to send me a selfie twice a week from the gym. If you don't do that, you have to pay the whole month yourself.
Nice.
And it's funny because that's the first time, and my dad's now over 60. It's the first time in 60 years that anyone got him to hit the gym regularly.
Nice.
Like, I just found a way to, because my dad hates wasting money. So that's the only thing he hates more than having to work out, you know? Yeah. So no way my dad's going to miss a single day at the gym. Because he doesn't want to pay for it.
That's a nice technique, I guess.
Yeah, I thought that's so funny, man. My dad's the kind of guy he would refuse to heat more than one room during winter because he doesn't want to pay the oil. You know, those guys are not getting a single penny from me. You know, that's my dad. God bless him. But we have the same body type. He's fat, I'm not, because I have the discipline. But genetically speaking, we love food. Both of us, we're addicted to food. But yeah, like I said, I wish people would realize that more. How much we're controlled by our hormones, by our genetics.
Yes, 100%.
How's your dad in terms of genetics? What genetics did you get from him?
So facially, I got a lot from him, like with the chin and everything.
Oh, you got the Chad jaw from your dad?
Yeah. And even like in terms of liking to do sports, I got that a lot from my mom. Like, she was always so much into sports and being active and everything. And now, like, if a day goes by and I don't do some kind of activity, it's like my anxiety increases.
Wow.
If I do a whole day without any activity, for example. If it's like, and this is a problem that also happens to a lot of like people that go to the gym. You get so into the habit of like going to the gym that it becomes weird.
If you don't.
Yeah. So the trick is always plan in advance what you're going to do at the time of that you were supposed to go to the gym, but you're doing a rest day. So for example, now at the time I was, you know, I train maximum 5 times a week in the gym, sometimes 4, a lot of times 4. And on the 2 or 3 days where I don't, I always plan either surfing, right? I plan paddle with my friends. I plan a hike. So I always plan something at that time. Otherwise, I feel weird. Like if I do a whole day just, you know, doing just walking. Walking is good, but I need something like really active, you know, to feel normal. So yeah, that definitely came from my family. You know, it was not random, I believe.
Is this the biggest you've been ever?
No, I've been bigger.
No shit.
Yeah, I right now I'm like 78, 79. I think I've been like at 85 or something. Whoa. Yeah. And when I was in Dubai, I lived in Dubai for like 5 months, and I lived when I was in Houston, Texas. I was there for like 6 months or something like that, and I was training in like actual bodybuilder gyms with where everyone was fucking filming content, shirtless and everything, bro. Like there, you feel really small. It really pushes you like to really get bigger, to like hit your calories, take your supplements, go to the gym, spend like 2 hours at the gym. It really pushes you to do that. So yeah, that's when I was my biggest, but I was not prioritizing business as much back then because I was putting so much attention into like food, gym, supplements, you know. So yeah, that's my biggest.
How did you lose the weight? Was it all just fat, or did you also lose some gains? Or
I believe I lost some gains because I started just focusing a lot on the business, and also I started prioritizing more enjoying life. So instead of training like 6 times a week, I would train like 4 times a week, and I would prefer to enjoy like playing paddle and doing surf. So I was doing more cardio as well. Right. And nowadays I prefer to have a more athletic physique that's like more sports driven than the bodybuilder body I had back then that I was underperforming on sports, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a priority I made over just like being big.
I mean, dude, as much as I love going to the gym and as good as it is for your health, it's fucking useless in real life sports. It's so funny. I've done in 2020 and 2021, I did some martial arts training, just very sporadically. Didn't take it super seriously, but I did some Muay Thai in Kiev. Okay. And it was when I had that big apartment, the one we talked about earlier, that was like $12,000 a month because it had a big veranda on the what is it, 10th floor or 5th? It was somewhere high up or 20th. I can't remember. 12. It's 12th floor, something like that. And I had a big veranda, and I would invite. Dude, the Muay Thai trainer was like national champion of Ukraine or something like that, and you know you could get him for like $5 an hour for one-on-one training. And this guy like barely spoke any English, but that guy fucked me up every time, man. He would always like the warm-up would already kill me because I had zero cardio, can't breathe properly, and he would always laugh. He's like, "You typical gym." Only big muscle, but cannot do anything, you know. He just laughed at me the whole time. Look at you, you know. You cannot do nothing with all the muscle. Look at this, useless. You just berate me the whole time, man. Fuck. And then I also noticed it with snowboarding. It's so funny, like what I can squat like a ton of weight with a ton of reps, and then I go snowboarding, which is like you just go down the hill, and the main muscle is the quads. Because you know you pad the rhythms with the and dude, I go down a hill and I'm dead. It's burning. My legs are burning. And I'm like, what does all those stupid squats do if I can't even fucking snowboard?
It's different fibers that you're training. Like if you're doing like weightlifting, that is like, you know, for let's say 30 seconds, 40 seconds, or like being on the top of a pad for like minutes, right? Yeah. It's different fibers that you're developing, and that's the reason why you feel that way. And when you compare it both,
it's good for physique, good for looks, and it's good for bone density.
Yes.
And you can eat more. That's like the main points, I think. But yeah, I haven't found any sport that, apart from really snowboarding, that has hooked me where I'm like, I love doing it.
Have you tried surfing?
Surfing, haven't tried it, but I could definitely see that would work for me.
You're going to like it.
Yeah.
If you like snowboarding.
Exactly. I thought the same. I really, really want to start surfing, picking it up. And the cool thing about surfing is it's one of the things you can do when you're older. You know, when you're in your 50s or whatever, because, you know, your ligaments don't need to be strong or something like that. Arguably, even more so than snowboarding. Snowboarding can be quite hard on the body, especially because I do free ride and freestyle. So it... You know, dude, I remember when I had like really bad slams and I was 16, you just get up. And it doesn't matter. Just
like Wolverine. Like if you get a small thing, it just heals.
Yeah. You would slam like on a hard surface, not in the powder, and you would hit your head. I wouldn't have a helmet, no nothing. And you'd like, fuck it, let's go again. Let's go up and try to stick the trick. And nowadays I like land a little weirdly in powder, and I could not move for 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's so funny, man. Do you ski snowboard at all? Probably not. You're Portuguese,
want to,
man.
bro.
Dude.
I want to.
It's sick.
Yeah, because I love surfing so much.
Yeah, you love snowboarding, man.
yeah.
Oh my god, dude. It's you. It's snowing, right? Because it's like it's snowing at the night before, right? You're looking out the window. You're like, oh my god, it's snowing. Oh my, tomorrow is gonna be the sickest powder. So you get up at 6, right? You get ready, you have your breakfast and everything, and you drive up the mountain. So you're the first. You like wait in front of the lift until they open, and you're the first fucking dude. You go up, and then the cool thing is sometimes there's clouds down below in the valley, but when you go up, you go above the clouds and it's sunshine. But nobody knows because everybody's down looking up, and they're, oh, it's cloudy. Well, let's not go, right? But you're up in the sun alone, and it's like a Tuesday, right? That's the best thing. That's one of the reasons why I built an online business, so I could do shit like that. Everybody's at work, right? They're all going on Saturday, Sunday. Everything is packed. Everybody takes away the good snow. It's like Tuesday morning, right? You're the only dude up there. It's like January, outside of all the holiday seasons, right? You're up there completely alone. You go all the way up. You know all the good powder spots. You put in your favorite song on the headphones. You put noise canceling on, and you just ride.
Nice.
And you don't feel any friction when it's in powder, like deep snow. You don't feel any friction, just like you're in water. It's like you're floating. And it gives you this like floaty feeling that comes up right between your legs because you have your back foot and your front foot. Your front foot is up a little bit, so the snow flows underneath, just like on a surfboard, right? You can't dip your nose in because then you would fall.
Yes.
Right? So it's like literally floating.
Nice.
And you're just floating down the fucking mountain, man. It's like it's not slipping, it's not sliding, it's you're floating down like you're on a cloud. You got your favorite song in.
I want to do that.
And it's the crazy thing is it's pretty hard cardio, but you don't notice it. Because you're just like and then you go all the way down, and then you're completely out of breath at the end. You're like, I didn't even notice, because you push really hard. You push into the turns and stuff. You spray it nicely, and you're so full of adrenaline. It feels so good that you don't even notice. And then you're at the bottom, and then you're out of breath, and then you rest as you go up. Yeah. And then as you go up, you pick the next line, like, oh, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go try to jump this cliff a little bit. And you kind of think about, and this is really the cool thing. You think about how to spin, because some jumps are perfect for backside spins, which means if the left foot is in the front, you spin with your back first. And then some are much better when you spin front side. Yeah. So you think about what kind of spin would fit best, and you think about what kind of grab would fit to the spin and how much angle you would have in the spin, because sometimes you want to spin straight. Sometimes you want to spin with one shoulder below the other. Yes. So you have a little bit of a cork in there. And it's this whole idea of like every jump is different. Yes. Every jump demands a perfect spin and a perfect angle of the shoulders. Sometimes there's jump where it's easier to backflip, for example, or a front flip. And just finding the perfect spin for that perfect jump, it's a whole expression. It's a whole art form as well.
Yes. Yes. So when you're going on these slopes, like, do you know roughly what's the path going to be like, or you find it in real time, like as you're going?
What's the what going to be like?
The slope, like when you're going down the mountain.
It depends on the snow. So that's cool. So the snow, some snows look different. Some reflects more light. Some a little bit less, depending on how heavy the snow is. Okay. But you really only feel it once you ride it. And then the thing is, when you ride it, a terrain can change very quickly, because, so for example, you would go down a slope, but then there's one part where a lot of snow gets blown in. So there's much more snow. So all of a sudden the snow gets steeper. But then it could also be that you hit a spot where it's very exposed. That part of the slope is very exposed. So a lot of wind blew off a lot of snow. So it looks exactly the same, but it's only a centimeter of snow and the rest is ice. Gotcha. So you think you're going to turn into this beautiful deep snow, and all of a sudden it's all ice and you're sliding over ice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's super fun. I mean, you can get hurt, of course, but most of the time it's just like it catches you off guard. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? What is this?
Yeah.
If that's the thing, is like, you really want to know the terrain. Sometimes there's really sharp rocks right underneath. So you need to know the terrain ideally, or you need to ride with someone. So because all you see is snow. So sometimes you're like, oh, cool, let me go jump in there. And then you jump and you hear because you just literally rode over a bunch of rocks. And if you're unlucky and you jump and you land on your hand or your, God beware, your head, you would basically just hit a rock. So you definitely need to be careful. You do need to know the terrain.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has some dangers. I fell into holes 2 times. Thank God they were never as deep, but that can be dangerous because you don't see the holes. It's like you just see an edge and you think it just goes down after that, but actually goes into a hole. And all of a sudden you ride and you're in the air. Like your snowboard doesn't touch the ground anymore and you fall into a hole. And then sometimes these holes have snow in them, but it's just snow that lies kind of together, and when there's weight on it, the snow collapses and it goes even deeper. But yeah, like I said, like if you know the terrain, if you're local, or if you're not local, you ride with someone who is, then you're fine.
Bro, we have to do a snow trip sometime.
Dude, anytime. I spend the whole winter as long as there's epic snow at home, and I'm just go riding all day.
Let's do it.
It's the best thing, man. Oh my God. And you burn a lot of calories.
Yeah.
Burn a lot of fucking calories. And then you go to the restaurant and you eat just everything.
Yes.
You eat pizza and gamknödel and everything. So you just you stack back up.
Bro, I swear, like something I do every day is I have a Google spreadsheet and there is 4 things that I track every day.
Oh, let's see it.
I've been doing it for this year.
Oh, the classic spreadsheets, man.
So,
just yellow, green, and red.
My health. So if I'm feeling like ill, if I feel, and like that's usually the 4 ways to the 4 colors: green, yellow, orange, and red. Pretty self-explanatory. Green is like it's good. Health is usually like always green. Then the second one I track is calmness. So how calm I feel. So if I feel anxious, it's like red. If I feel like mild, it's like orange. If I feel normal-ish, it's yellow. And if I feel good, it's green, right? Then digestion. How like if I have some bad digestion, some belly pain, it's red, and then it goes all the way to green. And morning wood. This one is the best indicator of your testosterone levels, bro.
You literally track if you have morning wood in the morning.
Yes. Literally, I get to my computer in the morning after the shower, and that's like it turns on, and this opens, and I still fresh in my mind if I had morning wood or not, and I track it here. And
it's a lot of greens in there, buddy.
And
look at that.
Yeah, and I can see what months everything was green. Like April was fucking green, bro. Like I was horny every day. My digestion was good every day. I was calm, so I was happy every day and healthy, right? So I can go back to April and I can see what did I do that month that caused it to be all green.
Yeah.
Right? And and then I have a special color, which is blue, which is like when it's I feel exceptionally happy or exceptionally good.
Exceptional morning wood on May 1st. Exceptional.
And it has an explanation here.
Yeah, what does it say? Is it PC friendly?
Let's see if it's PC friendly. You can see.
Oh, you want me to read it out? Okay. Well, had sex at 11:30 and woke up two hours later horny and had sex again with a girl as thin waist 19-year-old Yasmin. Shout out to Yasmin. Yasmin, if you're listening to this and you met Adolfo on the night of April 30th to May 1st, you are responsible for an extra blue column in his morning wood section. Does she know about this?
I don't think she does.
You should say, are you still in touch with her?
I am. We still follow each other.
You should send her this clip when it's out. This goes out to Yasmin. If you ever want to tell a girl that she's special, just show her this spreadsheet.
Okay? Literally, bro. The girls that were special, they have the blue days here. They're super special. And I was getting to the point that I have a day, if on the calmness column, if I have a blue day, bro, I felt exceptionally happy. It's like when you're like super happy.
Love it.
And these blue day, these are the days, like imagine when your year is over on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever do this. I do this a lot. At the end of the year, I look back to my year and I think, what were the happiest days of my year? I don't know if you ever do this.
Yeah.
I love to do that. So these are the blue days. Okay, these are the days that you're like, you remember and you're like, wow. Those are when on the calmness column, the blue ones.
Yeah.
And this blue day, bro, that I had in April, it was, I'm going to tell you how it was. And because it was similar to what you just explained about the snowboarding, but it was like with wake surfing.
Wow.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
So I had a very close friend of mine from the United States visiting me in Brazil. So that alone is good when you have a friend visiting, you know, you're hanging out, catching up. So he was staying over. And in the morning, I love waking up early and hustling. So I woke up in the morning, business was good. I was like sending a few messages to the team, had a few calls in the morning. 3 hours of work done. I was good for the day. It was a Saturday, right? I was good for the day. It was sunny outside, bro. And I just finished working and I could tell this is going to be a sick day because I had things planned for the afternoon. So we went to the gym. We had a sick workout, got an amazing pump. Then we went home, ate something, and we got ready to go to the lake. So it was a beautiful sunny day. And we rented out a boat and we were going to the wake surfing the whole afternoon. So we went there, bro. It was just beautiful. It was in Brazil at this giant lake, beautiful girls walking around the lake, like really beautiful. The guy in the boat was waiting for us there. So we got there, we got in the boat. We started wake surfing, and then we were competing with each other to see who would do the best moves on the wake, the board and everything. We were blasting music, bro. It was amazing. And then you know that the feeling you just described about finishing. You finish snowboarding and you're hungry. You want to have food. I had the exact same feeling after 2 hours of doing it. We were hungry, bro. You just parked the boat. We went to a nice meat restaurant that was close by. I remember having some food and like looking around, birds were chirping, the lake, and I was like, wow, this is it, man. This is it. And I felt like super good. And yeah, then we just drove back home. That night we had dinner like with a bunch of friends, like, you know, just catching up with a few friends, telling, you know, how was the week, telling stories. That was like the blueprint of like a perfect day for me. I got work done. I believe when I went home, I had a date with a girl I was seeing. I believe that part I don't remember 100%, but that's the blueprint of like a really amazing day for me. Like I still got 3 or 4 hours of work done. Then in the afternoon, I had fun. I believe I filmed some content with him as well. Took some pictures. Then at night, caught up with my friends at the social time. That was like a really blueprint, really good day for me. So yeah, that's the spreadsheet technique for people watching. I think I would implement this. Start tracking these things.
Do you give away this as a 2-step, as like a freebie or something? Because that would be pretty sick.
I never did.
You should, man. Just the template, obviously, not yours filled out, but like, this is literally like, this is literally my tracker.
Yes.
Give it away on like, you know, on Instagram to your followers.
I only did it for like clients of mine of the coaching, but yeah, like I would give it away for free as well. Like, no, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, fuck it.
But yeah, these 4 things, if you have these 4 things like in check, bro, you're good. And then the good part is that every time you have bad days, for example, here I felt like anxious, it was like a red day. Yeah. You can write down what caused it. Yeah. So that in the future, you know that you have to avoid it to feel good. And it's the same thing for digestion. This is how I found out that I was like intolerant to stevia and stuff like that, because I started noticing the pattern. I would have belly pain when I would have some things, and I just narrowed it down to stevia because of this tracker. Yeah. Right. Same thing with morning wood. If I have like a lot of days in a row when I'm not having morning wood, I'm like, okay, something's wrong with my testosterone levels. What is going on? And for example, a couple of months ago, I was having like no morning wood for like a lot of days in a row, maybe weeks. And I was like thinking about it, got me to brainstorm, go on Reddit and search about it. And I came to the conclusion it's because I was not eating egg yolks.
Oh,
For example, because
damn.
yes, because egg yolks have cholesterol, healthy cholesterol, which is like the building block for testosterone. And I was like all smart, like, yeah, I'm not having egg yolks because it has unnecessary fats and I just want the protein of the egg whites. No, the cholesterol in the egg yolks is super important, right? And I implemented egg yolks again on my diet. All of a sudden, morning wood again. Testosterone is back. So yeah, that's it.
Hey, real quick, I hope you're really enjoying this episode with Adolfo. And you know the reason why he can be on the podcast with me? Because number one, he has his own coaching business. And number two, because the coaching business runs almost on autopilot. So he can travel the world, he can talk to people like me. And guess what? I'm doing the same, and over 3,000 people that I've helped with before are also learning to do the same. If you want to know exactly how you can leverage your skill, hobby, expertise, passion, or current job skill to build your own business and do it almost completely automated, 80% done for you, book a call with me and my team. Like I said, we've been in this industry since 2019 for many, many years. We know exactly how to do it. We know how to have AI do a bulk of the work for you. Like I said, it's 80% automated. Book a call with us. There's a link down in the description of this episode somewhere here. Book that call, hop on it with us, ask us questions, and we will tell you an exact step-by-step plan on how you can do that too. So let's go. You can open that in a new tab, and now back to the episode. That perfect day that you've had.
Yes.
You did say before you did all these things, you were like, oh, today's going to be a good day.
Yes.
So my question is, what's the chicken or the egg? Did it become such a perfect day because you did all these activities, or did you already in your mind decide it's going to be a perfect day?
Yes, I have the answer for you. And this is something also for the people watching that is going to be, if you implement this, it's going to be really good for the people watching. You plan a lot. You and most people that watch this channel, they're business oriented. We all plan our business a lot. It takes a lot of planning. Business, making money. I'm gonna have this plan, and I'm gonna reach 7 figures by doing this, and this. Okay, and that's amazing. I do it myself. That's amazing. But then you go on vacations. And you're like, you just book a flight to Greece and you just book 7 days on an Airbnb. And you're like, okay, I'm here. Where is the fun? I think fun has to be planned as well. You have to plan in advance. Yeah, I'm going to rent a boat. We're going to do some wake surfing. I'm going to watch a video on YouTube, to learn how to do this move on wake surfing. We're going to film it. We're going to shoot some content. Then at night, we're going to this dinner, this and that. Otherwise, if you don't plan fun, you are not going to have as many peak experiences as you could, right? So something that was good that day was that we also planned the fun we were going to have. And I was like, the feeling that you mentioned, I was like, yes, everything is planned. So I had some security of yes, there is a structure to what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel really calm when I have structure, even
same
for fun times.
Yeah. Same.
Yes. I think a lot of people miss out on that, and they're just like, oh yeah, I went on this vacation, it was boring and this and that, because you don't spend enough time planning it.
Yeah. I like planning everything, man.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's the exact opposite, and I think it's a good thing because we're balancing each other out.
Yes.
Because I would be like, every day we do this, and we book this in advance. And she's like, no, let's just see what we do. When I was in Rome with her, it was exactly like that. I was like, where are we going to go? What do you want to do tomorrow? What are we going to book? Have my assistant get us everything booked. And she's like, no, I just want to walk around. And at the same time, if I let her do that, we would just walk around all day completely aimlessly.
And she would complain that it was boring,
probably. Exactly. And but again, also if I would just plan everything, it would suck as well.
Yes.
So it's important, man. It's important. When have you ever had a really epic day where you had no plans at all? Yeah. And you were just like, fuck it, what are we going to do? And then it turns out you've done something really awesome.
I had days like that. But when I compare the days I planned the fun were the days that I didn't, it usually turns out better on the ones that I plan the fun. For sure. Yeah.
Because what I found interesting is like that tomorrow we're flying to Barcelona and then we're going to fly to Marbella.
Yeah.
And you somehow were like, yo, I'm joining you guys.
Yes.
I'm coming to Marbella. What exactly are you doing there again? Because you said you want to go to some event in Marbella or what?
Yeah, so it's going to be How to Beast.
That's right.
It's going to be his event. It's going to be on the weekend after yours. And I had a friend ask me to go there. And then I had you telling me about this one on the weekend before. And I'm like, that's a sign. That's a sign.
Epic.
And I love Marbella. So it was like, it's a good opportunity to go there. So yeah, I'm also even though I like planning a lot, I'm a very spontaneous person at the same time.
Good.
Yeah, like, how do I say this? So I like spontaneity with planning. It's like kind of hard
plan
to
spontaneity.
Yeah.
What is that How to Beast thing? What's that? I've heard the name before. Isn't that a YouTube channel? How to Beast?
It's a YouTube channel.
So it's like a meetup or like a convention from that channel or what?
So you are going to do...
Shout out to the How to Beast guys here.
Yeah.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah.
But what is that?
It's like an event is going to throw, like a networking event.
Ah, so he's throwing an event.
Yeah.
Sick.
On the 28th and 29th of... 28th or 29th of September, something like that.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
Have you met him before or will it be first time?
A couple of times.
Is he a cool dude or what?
He is. We did a couple of videos in Houston. Super
Sick, man.
chill guy. I just like went up to him and like, yo, bro, you want to be on my video? And I was like, what do you want to do? And I explained to him. He was like, yeah, let's do it.
Did he know you before, or did he just think you're some random guy?
I mean, of course, I explained to him I had a YouTube channel and everything, but I believe we didn't talk before. No. Yeah.
You know who's just like that? King Keto, Brandon Carter. He doesn't give a shit. You can have a channel. I mean, poor King Keto. He's probably gonna get 1,000 requests now. You can have a channel with 10 subscribers. Hey man, can I have you on my YouTube?
Yeah.
Sure, man. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Fuck it. He was always like, and I respect that of him because he's got huge followers. What has he got? Like 1 million also, I think. 1 million. Dude, he had 1 million Facebook followers back in the days already.
Oh, geez.
On Facebook, he was like the first guy to went viral on Facebook. And then it was so funny because back in the days with RSD, we were like the bad boys, right? Because we were the dating coaches. So nobody wanted to collab with us. We were like literally like, you don't collab with these dating guys.
Yes.
They're weird. It will be bad for your brand. And Brandon Carter
didn't give a fuck.
He was the only one who's like, fuck it. Oh, you guys are funny. I'll watch your shit. I'll fuck with you. I'll do some fucking collabs with you. He was the only guy who never gave a shit. And nobody complains. Like his brand is so unfuckable, so to speak, that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It cannot get bad because, I don't know, he has such an authentic brand. And dude, he's so funny.
Yes.
He's the funniest fucking guy ever. Man, the his day in the lives. Have you seen he has the reels, a day in the life of a Miami baller or whatever. And he's like look at his words, not mine, okay? His words. Shout out. He's like, I got first class ticket. So he flies somewhere, right? It's like, I got first class tickets. So I get to board right after the veterans and the cripples. That's so fun. And I'm like, Jesus. And people just like, it's Brandon Carter. He's a funny guy, I'll have him on the podcast as well. But we've done collabs like already 8 years ago, back when I had 0 tattoos, so I was just man bun Max. I would do videos with
I
Brandon Carter.
remember that guy bumping it into him.
The death stare video?
Yes, I remember that. That's still on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, it's still. We just recently watched it. Was it with you and Robin, I think? Yeah, the death stare video.
That's so good, bro.
I'm still talking to the camera. And the guy complains because we were swearing. And then Brandon Carter's like, "Oh, got a problem?" And then it's just stare. And the video is like, you got huge Brandon Carter, way taller than the guy, and just some regular some guy in his 50s, out of shape, bald head, or you know, and you're like, dude. You're like, if this really comes down to a fight, this poor guy would just be destroyed. So good. Brandon Carter, RSD Max. Type in death stare or something like that. I think it's called a death stare.
Let's see. That video is so good.
It's so funny.
Oh, maybe it's
we just recently watched it like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
maybe it's not online already.
Type in RSD Max, Brandon Carter, RSD Max death stare. What did we type in? It was RSD Max death stare, I think. Maybe he took it now. We literally watched it 2 weeks ago when we were in Cannes. Yeah, folks, check it out. Try to find it, folks, when you're listening. It's really funny.
We have to ask Brandon to.
Oh, he's live right now? Oh, no, streamed 1 month ago. Okay, it was just the thumbnail looked like it was live. All right. Yeah, dude, funny, man.
That was a
funny
good one.
guy. Have you met him in person?
No, I haven't.
Dude, he's so fucking
I really
funny,
want to meet him though.
You should. Come to Miami after this, man.
Oh, bro, that's already a lot of spontaneity. Yeah, Barcelona, Marbella.
Yep. You're flying to Brazil afterwards, anyways. When?
First, I'm going to
Let's check.
Algarve. No, I have a few events here in Portugal before going to Brazil. I'm going to Brazil around the 20th of October. So,
dude, that's exactly when. Dude, let me check my dates here. We will be in Miami from 15th to 22nd. Okay. Perfect. Come on the 21st. You have to. How are you flying to Brazil? Aren't you flying Miami first, anyways, and then continue?
I have to check.
Something like that.
I have to check.
Go join us one night in Miami. We'll get some steak, man.
That would be pretty spontaneous.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how things go.
Dude, the funniest thing was when we were in Cannes at the Mastermind.
Yeah.
With Consulting Club and Raul Plica, Nicolas Pere, Ty Lopez were there. Yeah. Also randomly showing up is Christoph Heuermann, the OG. He was on the podcast too. He's this German. Is he German or Swiss? Yeah, he works in the German market, and he basically teaches people how to become expats and how to optimize their taxes. Great guy, highly intelligent guy.
Okay,
he got like 42 income streams, and he's my age, and like 10, 15 years ago, he's like, I want to travel the world. Literally, I want to go to every single country in the world. And I think last year he made it. He actually traveled to every single official country in the world. And now he's like, okay, now let me do all the territories. So now he's adding all these, some random Pacific Island territories, and he's doing those. And he just regularly goes to the South Pole. He's like, yeah, my favorite place, South Pole. It's pretty sick. And, you have to go on a ship from Chile, I think, or some South tip, Argentina, somewhere there.
Yeah.
You have to go on an expedition boat, and then you sail across, I don't know what that strait is called, between the tip of South America and Antarctica. And he goes there. And it was so funny because Ty Lopez does his like mastermind speech, right? And he's like, yeah, Sao Paulo is great. Who's ever been to Sao Paulo? And Christoph Heuermann is like, yep, South Pole, right? And he's like, no, Sao Paulo. Oh no, I thought you said South Pole. Have you ever been to some crazy place like that? Because there's two kinds of traveling. There's the traveling where you go to all the baller cities.
Yeah.
Right. You go to Miami, to New York, to Amsterdam, Berlin, like London, and that's all you ever see. And then there's the traveling that is like, fuck it, let's go to South Pole. Fuck it, let's go to Kauai. Let's go to Nepali coast. Let's go to all these remote places. Yeah. Have you ever been to one like that?
The first one that comes to mind as a really good memory was in Bali. That we went up to a volcano.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and it was like from where we were, it was like a 2-hour drive to the base of the volcano, and then it was like 2 hours more to get to the top. And we did this all during the night so that we could watch the sunrise from the top, right?
Sick.
And then when you're at the top, you start seeing the sunrise, and they have like these wooden huts where they would cook you breakfast.
On the volcano or down below?
On the top of the volcano as you watch the sunrise.
Sick.
And The way they would cook some of the food was actually in holes, because these holes would be super, from the heat. They would cook the food there, and there was monkeys around as well, because like supposedly it was a monkey mountain or something.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
We gotta go there. What is it called?
It's called Mount Batur in Bali. It's,
Batur?
yeah, I believe.
I have a list. I have a note on my phone. It says places to visit, destinations, and I just write down all the stuff that people tell me.
Mount Batur.
Dude, so it's a monkey volcano.
Yes.
Fuck
There is food being cooked in holes.
And it's in Bali.
In Bali, yes.
What's that breakfast? What did they cook? Did they cook like pancakes with fruit?
Nah, bro. Look.
Okay, too bad.
Look, this was driving on the way there
Okay.
with my German friend Stefan.
That was a water slide park.
Yeah, that was a different thing.
Oh, okay.
Climb.
There was stray dogs there, I guess?
Random stray dogs
All right.
in the mountain.
Oh,
When we got
sick.
there.
Yeah, that is baller. Okay,
Monkeys?
there's monkeys. Okay, I see that. Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful, man. And not many people, so it was not like a touristy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and there's a little shack where you can sit down.
Yes.
Did you show the breakfast, bruv? I'm disappointed if I don't
didn't.
get to see any food, man. Oh, that's the breakfast?
No. This is the gym I used to train.
Okay, too bad, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that was this year. It was 19 weeks ago.
No. This was, I reposted this from my main IG to this one.
Okay.
This
For the DHV, yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, this is the original.
So what was the breakfast? What did they have there?
I believe it was like eggs,
Okay.
bread,
Sick.
something like that. So it was like 189.
Okay.
No.
That's also not too long. 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, there we go. 89.
Yeah, that is cool, man. That is freaking
It was
cool.
literally in the middle of the night.
You had a driver who drove you there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, chill.
That's the thing. Oh,
Oh, they
eggs.
throw the bananas in and the eggs?
Eggs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They would boil the eggs with there.
Dude.
And the bananas.
Dude, warm bananas are so good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never tried.
I mean, anything warm you make with, like banana bread, bro.
That's amazing. I make banana pancakes.
That's good too.
Yeah.
But banana bread, that's another thing I picked up with cheat days is baking. I just bake my own cookies.
Yeah.
My girlfriend likes to make cookies, and I do banana bread, man.
Nice.
There's these like my girlfriend always follows these like cooking women on Instagram. You know, they have like reels. This is how I make my banana bread.
Yeah.
And I saved it. I was like, so good.
Nice.
And it's like 350 grams of brown sugar, you know? Yeah, like 5 bananas, peanut butter, chocolate,
Chips.
chocolate chips, and flour, and some baking soda. And that's basically the
That
main.
sounds so good.
Yeah, dude, it's unreal. It's unreal. You put it all together, and then
You could
throw
put
it
a
in the
scoop
oven.
of protein powder to
Yeah,
make.
you could slap that in too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna nullify the 350 grams of
Yes.
brown sugar. But to be honest, like I experimented around with that recipe because 350 grams of sugar was unreal sweet.
Yeah.
Like I put 200 in, and it's fine. Because I like it when it still tastes like a banana and not just like sugar.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But banana bread, like that is one of my guilty pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
Banana bread, I literally eat the whole banana bread. Like the whole loaf.
Yes.
Fuck it. Give me the loaf. I'll be fine. I dip it in the water. Water. I dip it in the milk. Ice cold milk.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's party.
Nice.
Let's party. That's my party. Okay. I'm not a fan of nightclubs at all. For my dating business, I was in nightclubs for 5 years all around the world. Taught every fucking weekend. I taught guys in nightclubs. This is the last time I spent time in a nightclub.
Do you feel that you don't enjoy them because of
No,
those 5 years?
never
Or
enjoyed them.
Back then you didn't.
I enjoyed them in my early 20s because that's where all the girls were.
Yes.
And it was not like I like enjoyed the club. I was like I
You enjoyed meeting.
I tolerated the club because that's where I would meet attractive women.
Yes.
But if the clubs would play metal music or rock, at least rock, I'd be like, this is a cool place.
Okay.
But because I just played music, I had absolutely zero interest in. I'm not a fan of. unless it's metal or rock, I'm not a fan of loud noises. I really don't like loud noises unless it's metal or rock. If it's heavy metal or rock music, then you make it really loud.
Yes.
It's the only thing that's allowed to be loud on this earth. The rest, I hate loud noises or engine sounds of like cars. That's fine if they're loud.
Okay. But these 5 years like didn't amplify your distaste for night.
Yeah, I think a little bit, because you just get tired of it. It's always the same.
Yes.
Your feet start hurting.
But you get some nice memories.
Dude, that's some of the funniest, best memories ever. Yeah, like
because
I said,
I don't like nightclubs myself, but I like you always get some insane memories from like
definitely some funny. Would never want to miss those.
Bro, what's a crazy story that you never told from like from your times of going to clubs?
I can't tell him. Can't tell him publicly. A lot of crazy stories, a lot of fun stories. No, I don't think I can really tell any. Okay, I can tell some.
When you can tell.
I think I literally told him I can't. It's so funny for me. Like I don't know what I said in a normal conversation or what I said in the podcast. So apologies if I told this story already.
Yeah.
I have this friend called Steven. He's this like Asian Austrian. I'm pretty sure I mentioned him before at least once in a podcast. So shout out. And he doesn't really have the best game or anything, but he has this attitude of never giving a shit. So I remember I was standing in line at a Miami club. I think it was Live. I think it was Live or one of the others that was more like I can't remember the other name of it. It was some fucking club, but one that was hard to get in. And I was there with clients, with boot camp clients, as we call them, boot camp. So I was there with like 3 guys. One Shadow. Shadow was like a guy that was not allowed to be in the boot camp itself, but he could join for like a lower price and just shadow, like a fly on the wall. And like 1 or 2 crews. So we were like 5 or 6 dudes, right? So we roll up to the club and the bouncer is like, he's like, guys, come on. Like, what do you think? You think I'm going to let 6 guys in? You got to bring girls or you got to pay. And one of my clients was ultra rich. He's like, oh, how much? And the guy's like, $500 per person to get into the club. And my client is like, cool. He gets his wallet out and just starts counting $100 bills. For him, it was like, oh, how much is this chewing gum at the gas station checkout? $500 per person? Yeah, all right, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, yo, no, you're not gonna pay, okay? Don't worry, we'll find some other. And just as we said that, I swear to God, this cab rolls up, just like a regular yellow cab in Miami. The door opens, and my friend Steven just hops out of the car, and he's like shorter than me. I'm 5'7", I'm 172 centimeters. He's shorter than me, right? Opens the door, gets out, just walks straight up to the bouncers, and those are like, 6-foot NFL bouncers, like huge. He just walks straight up to the guys, and as he just walks through them. And as he walks through them, one of the bouncers is like, hey, are you on the list? And he's just like, hey. He just like waves them off like, hey. And just walks in. And we're like, oh, this is Steven. Like, what? And yeah, so we had to wait for like 3 hours in line. I had to get all my guys. I had to tell them to talk to girls and get in with the girls. Yeah. And like finally we're all in, and then we're on the fucking dance floor. And above the dance floor, like on a stage, like elevated from the dance floor, was the VIP area. Yeah. And it had like a red velvet around it and another bouncer standing in front of it, so you couldn't just go there. And I look at all the pretty girls in the VIP area, just all pretty girls. And in the middle of them, fucking Steven. The short Asian guy. And I'm like, Steven, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, I just walked in. Wow. So not only did he just walk into the club as a guy without being on the list, without having paid, he also just walked into the VIP. Baller. Yeah, and he's like, dude, it's all just about the frame. Because here's the thing. You walk up to the club, you see these bouncers. What do? You look down to your shoes, you're all like defensive, and then you walk up to the bouncers and you stop in front of them. Yes. And you literally, the way you stop is like, hey, can I get in? But Steven just got out of the cab and he doesn't stop in front of them. He doesn't even fucking look at them. He just looks at the entrance. He walked in like he's the guy who works there, right? He's like, oh, hey guys, I gotta go to work. Or the DJ or the owner.
Yes.
He just walked through and it threw the bouncers off guard so much that they fell into his frame just from his body language. They're just like, oh, well, if he walks towards us, and he doesn't stop, he must be working here,
Yes.
So one of the bouncers somehow logically connected the dots and was like, hey, are you on the list? And because Steven wasn't like, I'm not on the list, but he was just like, yeah, right? Like, just brush him off. Like, if you were the DJ, you would also react like, yeah, I'm on the fucking list.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and then apparently that's what he did to get in the VIP as well.
Nice.
That's it. So that's a cool things like that you experience. You're like, okay, it's just balls and having the right frame that can make things like that work. I think most of the other stories I cannot really say.
I can attest to that.
You do some crazy things, but it's always in good faith with a lot of fun, and everybody involved has a lot of fun with it too. I think like really it's I think for young men there's nothing more formative, at least in terms of charisma and social dynamics, than going to a nightclub alone by yourself, not with friends, not with drinking, okay?
Yes, that's big.
And just see what you can do and just talk to people.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to challenge yourself, okay? Don't drink, don't smoke, don't take anything, don't take any friends with you, and just go completely alone to a nightclub on Friday or Saturday full of people and just force yourself to make friends.
Yes.
Even on the way there already, talk to the bus driver, talk to the cab driver, talk to the bouncers in front, talk to the co-check lady, talk to the bartender. Don't order anything but water or sparkling water or whatever, cola if you want. And that's it. And just go make friends. When people ask you, where's your friends? Just tell them you're here alone. By the way, nobody thinks it's sexier than when you say you're alone than hot girls. When a hot girl asks you, where's your friend? And you literally just look in their eyes like, oh, I'm here alone. There's nothing that they find sexier, because they're like, who the fuck does that? Like, you're like, how confident does a man have to be if he goes out alone?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, here's the crazy thing. I actually think that women have a way better social radar of what's going on and than you'd think. Like, chances are high by the time you go up and talk to her, she's already seen you a couple times before on that night. So by the time you go talk to her and then she finds out you're here alone, but she's seen you talk and laugh and high five with other people, she's like, wait, you're here alone? So these were not your friends? You were talking and laughing and looking really loose with all these strangers? Damn, you're charismatic. There's something about this fucking guy. Because no guy can do that. And also if you don't drink. Same with when you don't drink. They're like, what do you mean? You're not drunk?
Yeah.
You're having so much fun. You're not drunk? Like, I would have people, especially in the beginning, before I was able to kind of tame my fun, people would literally think I'm high.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, what, did you take MDMA? And I've never taken MDMA to this day in my life. Maybe I'll try it someday, but I've never dabbled with amphetamines or anything like that. So people are literally like, wait a minute, you're not high? I'm like, no, I'm just having fun.
Yes.
So you're drunk, right? No, I don't fucking drink ever. Back then, I never drank. Now I drink some glass of red wine every now and then. But that really fucked with people. They're like, oh, you can have that. How crazy is that, by the way? Like, it's weird for people to see someone having fun
And be sober.
Yeah. That's weirder for people than someone that is passed out drunk on the street throwing up.
Yeah.
And that's really crazy. So I think that as a man, that's a huge win. And then go home. You don't need to go home with a girl. You don't need to have gotten numbers. Just go home knowing you talked to people, you made friends. You didn't just stand around in the fucking corner and did nothing for 2 hours. Because trust me, I've been there. And that happens more often than you think.
Yeah.
That a guy will go out alone and then just stands around the corner. Go talk to fucking people and then come home and be like, I feel really good about myself.
It's like in Dragon Ball, the hyperbolic time chamber. It's literally the same, because then when you go like to regular networking events, after practicing for years,
Amen.
going to the club or networking events, talking up to strangers is like
So true.
walk in a park. I even like last weekend I was in a networking event. I met some amazing people here in Portugal, like Portuguese entrepreneurs.
Sick.
And like I was with a couple of friends, they were like, wow, like how is it so easy for you to go up to strangers and like spark up like conversations and stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. It like it's not like the years of going up to girls in the club and stuff. It's not that. But yeah, it's definitely very, very good a very good way to practice it. What you mentioned. Yeah. And also it's funny when sometimes I would go out to friends with friends and I would need to make them drink so that they would get to my level sober.
Yeah, that's the funniest part.
Yeah, I would have to do that a lot of times.
You have to buy them drinks just so they are not fucking sad.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually, I've had this so many times, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
I would have no friends to go out with. So I'd either have to go alone or I would tell my friends, hey, you want to go out with me? And they're like, oh, I don't want to go. And I'm like, I'll pay your drinks.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know, super funny. One thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
So we always talk about, you know, looks for men don't matter.
Okay.
Right? You can go out there, you can have fun and so on and so forth. But boy, oh boy, do girls stare at you. When you're walking down the street, they love you. And I guess it's the same on social media as well. What's your take on that? What's happening? What do they like most about the way you look?
I believe that when they see that you take care of yourself, and instantly that makes them picture in their mind, consciously or subconsciously, like that's good. You know, you take care of yourself, you're healthy, you're gonna give her a good offspring, you have good genes. So yeah, what was the question?
But because girls look at you and they approach you and they DM you, but it's not just the muscles. I know so many muscle dudes that get zero attention from girls. So it's got to be something. Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever tried to figure that out?
No.
Are you just happy that it's happening?
I just wear a lot of like shirts like this, like baggy shirts a lot of times. So if I thought about it, bro, I honestly don't know. I think there's much better looking guys than me out there.
What's the craziest thing or message or offer you received from a girl?
Oh, bro.
Oh, let's hear some.
Those I also cannot tell here on the podcast. But I remember, bro, there was for example, literally earlier this year, there was this girl that she literally had a boyfriend. She literally had pictures with the boyfriend. And she was posting pictures with boyfriend and everything. And she was like messaging me, saying that she wanted to have my babies.
Oh, what?
Yes. And I never met this girl in person. I never had a date with her, nothing. She tried sliding in my DMs like 3 times and she was beautiful, but I saw that she had a boyfriend, so I didn't open the DMs. And then I was looking for an apartment to like, I wanted to get into real estate there in Brazil. And I posted a story, and then she told me she had a contact. It was just her way of sliding like in. And I replied, and then she like somehow changed the conversation topics. And she was like, oh, you're so stable for such a young guy already wanting to buy an apartment. You want to get a family soon as well, right? And I'm like, yeah, eventually. And she's like, oh, I'm just 23, but I really want to become a mom soon as well. Bro, and I'm not talking like an ugly, like I'm talking like a beautiful.
Let's see her photos, man. Let's shout her out.
No names, bro. But let me see if I can find her. But yeah, that was a good one. What about you? Some crazy DM stories?
Nothing, dude. Nothing. I've had 2 women DM in my life in terms of dating context.
Okay.
Nowadays, of course, because we work with a lot of women, they're great, they're crushing it at their business. But like romantically, like, hey, you're cute or whatever, that doesn't happen to me.
Really?
No, and not at all.
Bro, but I think you're like, you get attention because you have the tattoos. You're like, you're good looking. I think.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But look, I don't mind. Like I don't, because I've always been the guy who takes the first step. ever since I learned this.
Yes.
So for me, I don't care, because if I really like someone, I make it happen. I go talk to them.
Yeah.
So I was never bummed out like, oh, the other guys you getting approached more. No, I don't care.
Okay, what was the difference before getting the tattoos and after 40? Do you notice any difference on that?
No, not really. That's also one of the things. It's the same with money.
Okay.
So a lot of guys ask me, does it make a difference? And I'm like, I was lucky enough to have had a really good game way before that. So I was really good. I learned how to become really good way before my tattoos and way before I started making a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's really helpful, because now also I can differentiate between women that find me attractive because they're attracted to the lifestyle that I embody and the money, and versus really me, because I think a lot of guys don't know that have money. They're like, oh no, she likes me for myself, right? No, maybe she actually just likes you because you're rich or you look rich.
Yeah.
So it's it's easier for girls to find. This is really funny. It's easier for girls to find a topic to talk about when you have tattoos.
Yes.
So, not to sound like an asshole, but usually young and attractive women don't know how to hold a conversation.
They don't.
Most of them don't, because they're always used for the men to carry the burden of the conversation.
Yeah.
They're always used for the man to just talk and ask her questions, and they never really develop the skill of like, let's make it interesting back and forth.
Yeah.
But when they do really like someone, they will try really desperately, and it's really funny because the way they try to talk to you is like a 16-year-old guy that talks to an attractive girl, like really obvious stupid questions. So what do you do for a living? So what does this tattoo mean? Like super obvious things. So all girls, they all ask me the same questions. And they all think they're super original. It's really funny. You could literally tell how they're patting themselves on the shoulder in their mind, like, such a great conversation, Jenny. Talk about his tattoos. I bet no other girls asked him about his tattoos ever before. What does this mean? What does that stand for?
Jenny is literally her name. That's literally her name, bro.
All right, let's have a look.
All right.
Damn, she is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
she is really beautiful.
I wouldn't be boasting of,
and she likes cats too.
Yeah. I wouldn't be talking about like these kind of stories of like an ugly girl. That wouldn't be something to.
Did she get married, or is that a photo shoot of her?
It's just a photo shoot.
Okay. Sorry, Jenny. Still no husband. So she still doesn't have anyone, I think, huh? Doesn't look like. I mean, she's a pretty girl. Maybe she's crazy, you know? You never know. Whenever you see a pretty girl that's been single for a while, you're like, you're probably crazy.
Yeah.
That's some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah. That's true.
Crazy stuff. How old is she now? So that was last year?
That was this year.
Oh,
She's 23.
She doesn't follow you, though, or not anymore?
Not anymore. I stopped.
She got bummed out because he didn't want to give her children, man. This is what you get for withholding the genes.
So I stopped following her, and then she stopped following me because I got a girlfriend in the meanwhile.
Oh, and you posted her on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Yeah. So yeah, that caused some girls to be really pissed when I posted another girl on my social. Doesn't that happen to you? Like when you post like
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it could be. I don't know if they get pissed, but I think they get. It's hard to tell because also it's good if from a social dynamic standpoint to have a pretty girl with you, because it shows that you have pre-selection.
Of course.
So it's what we call a quote unquote demonstration of higher value.
But when you show that you're like with your queen, like with the girl that's like that's different.
It's again the context. So if you have one photo with your girlfriend, and then but a couple photos back you have photos with like 3 or 4 girls at dinner.
Okay.
The girl is like, okay, it's maybe not his girlfriend, or maybe it is his girlfriend, but he still also meets other women. So it's really funny because women actually become more comfortable with you the more she sees you hang out with women, with other women. So it's a girl would be more inclined to meet you if your social media is full of you being at dinner with 3 or 4 beautiful women instead of just one. Because when you're with one and it's always the same, then the girl is like, oh, that's probably his girlfriend or some sort of relationship. And he's an asshole if he wants to meet me.
Yeah.
But funny enough, if you have 3 or 4 women on your photos, they're like, oh, I can totally meet him.
Yes.
Because he's meeting all these other women.
Yes.
It's really funny. It's the exact opposite for men. Like, we don't like it when a girl has slept with a lot of men, for example. A lot of guys don't like that. But for women, it's like, oh, you've slept with 300 women? Great, sign me up. Like, that's how it is, unfortunately. Like, it's really strange, or maybe not, unfortunately. Like, I don't hate the game. That's how it is. So for women, it's like, it's just a sign that because for them, they're like, well, for him to sleep with 300 women means he must do something right.
Yeah.
He can't be a creep. A creep can't get 300 women. He can't be an asshole or he can't be some sort of asshole, but not a huge asshole. He can't be a crazy liar. Like, all these questions that a girl will have about you, all the doubts are just poof, blown away.
Yeah.
The moment she knows you've slept with her 8 out of her 15 best friends, or 2 out of her 3 best friends, or at least she knows you've slept with some sort of attractive woman.
I think that's bigger. Like, I think more than the number actually can throw off a few girls. But if she knows that you've slept with, like, the local model from your city, or something like that, I think that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
That makes her, like, feel it's comfortable. I'm not sure if comfortable is the right word, but she knows, okay, this guy must be doing something good.
Exactly. He can't be weird. He can't be, otherwise he would have never slept with this girl.
Exactly.
And it's what we call the trickle-down effect. It means if you sleep with someone really attractive, you can, quote-unquote, attract girls of equal good looks or lower. Mm-hmm. It's harder to trickle up, so to speak. So if you show yourself on your Instagram as a guy, now we're getting into social dynamic stuff. If you show yourself with, if you would rate purely based on looks, someone's appearance, right? 1 would be less attractive, 10 would be the most attractive.
Yeah.
So if you would show yourself with women that are on average 8 on your Instagram, you would get a lot of girls that would also rate themselves as roughly an 8 through that. 9s and 10s that are above that will be harder because they know, oh, he's not dating girls of my league. He's not seeing girls of my league. But when you have 9s and 10s with you on your Instagram or social media profile or whatever dating profile you're using, then you will attract 9s and 10s and women below that.
Yes.
Because that's the funny thing is, like, a girl that would rate herself a 5 or a 6, when she, quote unquote, gets a guy of whom she knows hangs out regularly with 9s and 10s, it would mean for her that she's more attractive as well.
Yes.
Right? She's like, oh, that's my level? Oh, I can get a guy like that? Well, great, that's my level. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem, though, and this is where it becomes really interesting for women. Women think because they can sleep with a man, that man is in her league. However, that just because she can get a man to sleep with her doesn't mean she can get a man to stay with her. Yeah. And that's where a lot of women, especially the most beautiful women, become really frustrated as they become older because they sleep with the athlete, the entrepreneur, the artist, the actor, and think, oh, because I slept with Leo DiCaprio, it means I get to deserve a guy like that. So what happens now is they reject all the guys below that, that are of lower social status, because they slept with Leonardo DiCaprio or a guy of that status. Yeah. But the problem is, in Leonardo DiCaprio's fictitious example now, in Leonardo DiCaprio's mind, he's like, oh, she was just a random one-night stand. She's just a hot girl. I was bored. We had sex. No way she's good enough for me to actually date her. Yeah. She's not funny enough. She's not educated enough. She doesn't have the personality. She's a bitch, whatever it is. Because for the guy, in order to sleep with someone, the girl doesn't need to have a lot other than be decently looking and be there. Yeah. So we have much lower standards for the women that we sleep with, but we have higher standards for the women that we want to keep in a relationship, especially in a serious relationship. But women get confused by that. They're like, well, he slept with me. Because for women, it's like that. For women, the standard of, well, I want to sleep with this guy and I want to stay with this guy are much closer together. Yeah. For us men, they're not. I mean, I think every guy on earth has slept with a girl, maybe not every guy on earth, but a lot of guys have slept with a girl that they didn't even find that attractive. But the guy, maybe you felt lonely, maybe you had a shit night, all the attractive girls rejected you, and you're like, whatever. This girl is here, whatever, right? And then you're like, I really don't want to see that person again after we slept, right? Like now that I'm not horny anymore, you know, I don't feel like so for us guys, it's much further apart. I would sleep with her and I want to keep dating her.
Yeah.
And women get confused by that. And that's where you see a lot of extremely attractive women get into their 30s and they're still single because they can only get the guys to sleep with her but never get to keep them.
And you know what's the most insane part is that it's like when you talk to a girl that's like under 30s, early 30s, and she's single, and you could feel the regret of how poorly she treated guys when 10 years before.
Yeah.
But then when you try to explain that to a girl in her early 20s and explain like, yo, you're acting like this with these guys that talk to you, that they would have asked you to be their girlfriend. Like they could have literally been the father of your kids. But you threw them aside just because the soccer player was sliding in your DMs. The soccer player is not going to be with you in 10 years. But, bro, they cannot fathom that. They cannot think 10 years ahead.
Yeah.
And it's a trap that is sad, but like a lot of them fall into this trap. It's crazy.
Yep. And that's how it is. And that's why I believe, you know, coaches like you are way more important to their clients than just the fitness. Yeah. Because you mentor your clients. You have something to teach. You have fucking life experience, man. The free content that you're posting on Instagram, on YouTube, and so on and so forth, it goes so much deeper than that. And I believe there's so many guys out there that have a gift, and girls too. There's so many people out there that have a gift that they could give to other people, but they're intimidated to start coaching, to start being someone that teaches. I mean, the things we've talked about now in terms of social dynamics, I'm sure one or the other person here is like, wow, that's something new I learned, you know? And I see this time and time again with people that DM me, with people that comment, with people that become our clients. They knew deep down inside for many years, they want to become a coach, they want to do it, but they're intimidated because there's huge brands out there, huge influencers, people that seemingly do much better, and they're like, well, that person has like millions of subscribers, I have zero. Who the fuck am I to coach? But I always say, like, look, man, just get started. Look, man, get started. Look, girl, get started. Even if you just have a single fucking client, do something good there and work yourself up. Get a couple free test clients. That's how I did it, man. I just got a couple free test clients, help them out for free. Then some people reach out to me and say, can I pay you? Yes. Then they paid me $100 per day, which was huge. Yeah, $100 per day. Holy shit, let's go. Then I got my first high ticket client for $2,000, which was unfathomable for me. And, you know, now it just keeps going and just keeps going. And I'm so happy. And coaching has done so much for me. And it also, like, as a man, it taught me so much about not falling for the traps that, you know, some women lay out for me, but also not falling for traps that life sets up. COVID has been one of the biggest ones where so many people lost their livelihood, they lost their freedom, their personal freedom, their futures, and I know a lot of online entrepreneurs that were crushing it.
Bro, most people I talk to, most of the clients that I help with fat loss, weight loss, it all started in 2020.
Wow.
80% of people. I asked, like, dang. So how did you put on these 30 pounds? And it's like 80% of time, like, yeah, like I was in really good shape, but then like it happened. And it's like you cannot control your own life. You know, it's like, so when the government does this to the population, there's a small fraction of people that like, no, I'm not going to get out of shape just because like I don't have gym access. But the government manages to pull off like actually manipulating the masses. And I felt like that happened in 2020. Like a lot of people got out of shape then, and they were never able to get back. To this day, 4 years later, it's wild.
And that's why I'm saying, like, all the people I knew, all the people I know that made it through 2020, that came out better, they were all people that had their own business.
Yes. And
all people that had their own online business. So many people just fucked off to countries where there was no restrictions.
Yes.
Including me. At the time, including you. We had the time of our lives.
Yes, bro.
Well, you were sitting at home with 2 masks, 0 freedom. Like, you weren't even allowed to fucking go outside. You could barely see your parents. And meanwhile, we're just like living life.
In the beach.
On the fucking beach. I was traveling to countries that had no restrictions.
Yes.
I was there alone, completely by myself. Airports, completely alone, sitting on an airplane with 5 people there. We had a good time. The flight crew was happy we're here. Everybody was joking. And while you were sitting at home, getting fucking manipulated, fear-mongered. I know people that have anxiety issues since 2020 because it broke something within them and they're fucked. So, people always talk about escaping the matrix, and it's kind of being laughed at because Andrew Tate's a little bit of a polarizing figure. Yeah. Escape the matrix, but that's literally what it is.
It is.
You need to fucking escape. And seeing you traveling, how beautiful is Porto? We're in Porto right now. Yes. I got so mind blown by the way you showed me the city, this bridge and the river.
Just one afternoon. Afternoon.
It's just peak experience after peak experience after peaks. And then you go to Brazil. Now we're going to Barcelona tomorrow to a big Cope Card party.
Yes.
It's called Creator Heist or whatever. And then we're going to Marbella. We'll meet some more people. Fucking podcasts.
Yes.
This is life, man.
Yes.
But it all starts with that. Go out there, get your first couple clients, get fucking help, ask questions, go check out YouTube stuff, learn from it, and fucking start. Yes. That's how you started as well, right? How was it for you?
So I had another business before, the graphic design business.
That's right. I remember now. Yeah.
And then when I met Mario during COVID 2020, people were locked down in their homes, and I was doing a photo shoot with Mario on the beach. That's what I was doing. And but I was training with Mario every day during those first February, March when it started. And I just it's one thing to see things online, but when you see it in person, and someone that is 7-8 years older than you, like Mario, it really inspires you because you had a beautiful girlfriend. He was doing something that he really loved, which was fitness, and he was making some really good money with it, helping people. And I always loved fitness and giving advice to people on all kinds of if a friend of mine is oh yeah, I've been feeling low energy, I always had passion to ask oh really, what does your food look like now? Everyone knew me as the guy that did the research about the supplements and everything. I was always that guy in my circle of friends, but I never thought it could be as impactful to the world as it is. I never thought that, but it was kind of Mario that opened my eyes. Bro, you know a lot about this stuff. You know a lot about nutrition, food and everything. And he was impressed. And having one of your heroes say that, and for the people watching, I met Mario, which is if you don't know him yet, it's a big fitness YouTuber.
Yeah.
I met him through a common friend that we were all living in Mexico back then through Bochian.
Nice.
And having someone compliment you like that, it kind of made me realize maybe this is a gift that I have that I should use, that is more impactful than what I was doing back then, which was the graphic design. I was doing already $10K a month with the graphic design. So it was not it was shitty or something. I was doing decently, but it made me want to switch and help people with this skill I had a passion about. And it was just like you mentioned. I started just with friends first. Nice. And then friends of friends and this and this and that. And, the fact that I started getting results to people really fast validated what I was doing, because I felt if I didn't get results in the first months to people, if I couldn't help people lose the fat and everything, and gain the muscle, I'm not sure it would be the right thing. But because I did got the results, I was okay, this is it's good. I have something here that's useful for people. And that's how it started pretty much in the beginning. And then I wanted to fucking grow it. And if there was something that I was passionate about other than that, it was content. I know a lot of business people that hate creating content. I got into this business. One of the reasons was because I love creating content. So when I had a decent roster of clients, paying with a nice recurring monthly fee, so that I was not worried to pay my bills or something, I was like, I'm going all in on content without worrying about monetization for like half a year. I'm literally just going to keep my recurring clients. If anyone else comes, they come. But my only focus during my whole day is just going to be to get my message to as many millions of people as possible. And bro, I was in Bali. It was January 2021. So this was also kind of like a New Year's resolution. And I would spend, since I wake up at 7 in the morning until 10, 11 p.m., except from, going to the gym, except from my meals and the occasion in walking in the beach, getting my 10,000 steps. Apart from that, my whole day was devoted to researching how to go viral on social media. And this went on for weeks. And after this research period and making a plan, which I found it was really good to do it there in Bali, because you are like in an environment that is like, you don't have chaos around. You don't have like sirens and stuff. Like it's like nature, birds. And I was just like in my house. I was living alone at that time, just locked in, just that, it's like you're in your cave, And I was doing the research. I made the plan. I executed the plan that started on TikTok. And I remember that within the first, from zero, within the first 1 month, I had like 3 videos over 1 million views.
Wow.
Within 1 month on TikTok. And then I just transitioned to the other platforms. And just what I learned. And I was always in this process of like researching, creating, posting. I was posting 3 videos a day, every day. And I was seeing what was working, seeing what was not working. And then from TikTok, I started implementing it on the other platforms. And it worked. What I learned on one platform started working on the others. And also one of the reasons I was doing the traveling in Bali, and then I traveled to other places, it was good also to meet other influencers, YouTubers and everything. And I learned a lot from them that is not available online. A lot of techniques to grow and a lot of hacks, if you will. And those were the game changer as well. And I implemented those, started growing on the other platforms, and then it became much more easy to get my message across to a lot of people, and be able to impact more lives, pretty much.
What were those first 3 1 million plus videos about?
So the very first was one video where I was telling people, it's not the pizza that makes you fat, it's not chocolate that makes you fat, it's not salt, it's not fucking burgers, it is literally just a calorie surplus that makes you fat. I remember that it was this, and it went viral because people were like arguing, like, no, pizza makes you fat, pizza makes you fat, chocolate makes you fat. People didn't knew that it's just about the calories. Most people, like, for us, it's common knowledge.
Yeah.
But for 90% of people, you literally think that you eat the pizza and there's something there that is going to be stored somehow as fat. And if you eat like peanut butter or avocado, it's not. It's just healthy, and and somehow it's healthy, so it doesn't get stored as fat because avocado is healthy or peanut butter is healthy, even though the amount of calories is probably similar to pizza.
That's another thing. Like, so many people, when they're getting started, they're like, well, I don't have anything new to coach. Like, motherfucker, you don't have to coach anything new.
Yeah.
And also, like you said, for someone that is familiar with the material, with the content, with the things that they're learning, for them it's like, of course that's given. Everybody knows that. Yeah. But the average person fucking doesn't. Yes. Right? Just like you said, like, of course pizza doesn't make you fat, you idiots. But the average person is like, what? I didn't know that. Yeah. So, like, you have to realize that when you're good at something, even if you're just decent at something, for the average person, you don't need to give them much knowledge, because the average person is completely ignorant. Mm-hmm. What are the other 2 ones?
The other 2 ones, I think it was one about testosterone, where I was talking about the main thing that's responsible for you to have low testosterone, and it's macronutrient deficiencies. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, and I did a testosterone booster and this and that. No, it's literally just macronutrient deficiencies. Literally, like it happened to me with the eggs that was just mentioned earlier. I was lacking cholesterol. So, that was the second one.
And the third one?
And the third, it was about the best foods for fat loss.
Of course.
And I was mentioning like how this is also something a lot of people didn't know, like the amount of calories in 1 pound of watermelon. Do you know how many?
No idea. Let me think. Because I eat watermelon a lot.
Yeah.
1 pound. So that's what, 500 grams roughly?
Yes. Let's say 2 pounds. Let's say 1 kilo.
1 kilo of watermelon has, I would say, 500 calories.
Bro, 1 kilo of watermelon has 300 calories.
Close.
300 calories in 1 kilo of watermelon.
That's why I love watermelon and strawberries, man.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Strawberries is also something like this. So I was telling people like that you can eat 2 pounds of watermelon and it's just 300 calories. And how such a hack it is for fat loss. And I was mentioning strawberries, sparkling water, like a few hacks. So that was the third video. Okay. And it was all in like 30 days. And this brought in tens of thousands of followers.
Yeah, insane.
With these millions of views videos, yeah.
Well, man, and now you're crushing it, man. And now you're traveling the world, you're inspiring millions of people, literally like it was always your dream.
Yes.
Fucking baller, man.
Thank you.
Fucking baller.
Bro, and it's funny, like literally 10 years ago, I was watching you. 10 years ago, bro, I was watching you, man. Like watching you, getting inspired by you with your lifestyle. And now I'm here like in a podcast with you. It feels fucking it feels good, bro.
Dude, life is fucking amazing. Life is everything and anything you could ever wish for. All you have to do is take action.
Yes.
All you have to do is be okay with failing, be okay with being an idiot, and then you can have anything you want.
Yes.
And that's the fucking beauty about it.
100%.
Mate, it's been an honor to have you on. Tomorrow, Barcelona, then Marbella. I'm fucking hyped. I'm excited. Where can people find you? What's your gram?
Just search Adolfo Pereira and you are going to find me.
We're going to link it down below. All your links, YouTube, Instagram, all that jazz.
Yes.
Cool, man. Let's get some sleep. GG, man. Thanks for being on. I hope you really enjoyed this wonderful episode with my buddy Adolfo. And hey, listen, a lot of people live a bad life being stuck in a 9-to-5. They cannot travel the world. They have all these responsibilities and they're not making as much money as they should be making. Facts. But then you have people like the guests that I have on this wonderful podcast. They're inspiring people. They're making money on autopilot. They're traveling the world. They're seeing the world. They're doing all these amazing things. All these amazing things that you cannot do. Well, if you want to be part of that, if you want to be part of the cool gang, so to speak, book a free call with me and my team. On that free call, we will tell you exactly how you can start your very first business or how you can scale your existing business. We've helped complete utter beginners with zero experience, zero knowledge, make their first 3,000, 5,000, even 20,000 plus a month. You can literally check out their testimonials. We've also helped advanced people get to 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month, even more than $500,000 a month. If you want to know how exactly that works, you want to talk to me, you want to talk to my team, you want to ask us about our guarantees, because we have guarantees for everything. That's how confident we are in what we're doing since we've been doing it since 2019. There's a link down in the description below. If that link lets you through, it means we still have a spot open for these free calls. In the calls, we'll help you create a structure. We will tell you exactly what to do, where to post, how to get your first couple clients. If you want to show your face or not, doesn't even matter. We've done this before thousands of times. Like I said, link down in the description below. Thank you so much. I really enjoy the hell out of these podcasts, and I appreciate the hell to you giving me this opportunity. I can do this. So talk soon, and let's make it happen. GG.